on. Ritson, Robbie Davies Jr. put on a really fun fight. And, I got to say, I'm right about both men here in terms of their level. I've been right. But this was a fun fight. And I will leave it at that. If you want more of my thoughts about this, check out yesterday's show. Rob, you've always been a big Ritson fan. And honestly, I think you've been a fan of Robbie Davies Jr. as well. Scott Fitzgerald, I think you've liked, even though he fought your boy, Anthony Fowler. Thoughts on the card?
Yeah, the main event, co-main, I was pleased with. There's some stuff underneath that wasn't like amazing, but Bacoli put on a good display against Kingpin. I thought he was very patient and like selective with his shots, and didn't get frustrated by Kevin Johnson. Trying that what you call, like, shoulder roll style, and he was real selective with it and turned it up when he needed to, and let fire with some good combinations. So I was quite pleased with him. I see interested to see what comes for him next. Eddie Hearn said in the telecast that if Frank Warren wants to send a real offer like for Bacoli, he'd happily put him in with Daniel Dubois. So I don't know. We'll see. But I can see him obviously fighting an in-house kind of matchroom guy anyway. Savannah Marshall got a win. Who else was on the card?
By the way, just quickly, I mentioned on yesterday's show, but I need to address it again. The fact her C on her shorts, her opponent, Ashley Curry, was just clearly gone and missing. It was really upsetting.
It was funny.
It bugged me. Like it.
No. It was funny.
No.
It was in the court. No, did you? What point did you notice the C was missing?
Was it not missing from the beginning?
No, it was hanging off during her being announced by David Diamante. So I wanted more than anything in the world right now for David Diamante to say, Ashley Curry. And then her cornerman was trying to hold it up. And then he just thought, fuck it, and peeled it off. And then I wanted Diamante to say, Curry. I would have died. I would have legit died if Diamante would have been that on the ball. That would have been epic.
And I'll say it again. I said to you in private. I think I said it on the show, but I keep saying it. Savannah Marshall, as long as you're fighting people that are sub 500 and clearly are not belonging in the ring with you, please keep Clarissa Shields' name out of your mouth. For the love of God. You have no footing to go on at all with that statement. Please stop.
Stop hating.
I can say the same to Savannah Marshall. Fight better competition. Stop hating.
What?
I said fight better competition. Stop hating. But digressing. I did like Martin Bacoli. I thought he looked good. Though Kevin Johnson clearly, though, fading.
Yeah, he is. Well, he fought last week. So he had 8 rounds a week before this.
I'm concerned about Kevin Johnson. I think he should probably hang it up.
I'm not. Eddie kind of alluded to the fact that, I think he might be close to done now. So I don't know whether Eddie will get him back for any guys right now. But
now, before we jump to the main event, the co-main event, Cheeseman. Oh, sorry, that was an accident.
Well, poor Cheeseman. I just shot him.
Sorry.
That was for the judges or no?
Cheeseman, Fitzgerald, you guys scored this. I did not score this fight. I just watched it, and I enjoyed it. Was this a robbery, controversial decision, contentious decision? What are we framing this as? I think both you guys scored it for Cheeseman, I want to say.
Go ahead, Rob. It's your card.
It's your card. It was your cousin's, yes.
I think I did originally. I felt Cheeseman won a lot of the early rounds. By the end, I felt Cheeseman might have got it by a round, maybe two. I've watched it again. Okay. I watched the card again this morning, and I can see the Fitzgerald win by a round. But some of the cards I feel were way too wide. I think one of them had
8-4. Yeah.
Yeah, that was poor, I thought. So as far as a robbery or anything like that, not at all, in my opinion. Close rounds, a lot of close rounds, but not a robbery, but the actual scoring of it. See, again, you can have close rounds, and one judge is going to see it 8-4 to one guy, and one guy's going to see it, 6-6, and another guy's going to see it 8-4 the other way. It's just one of those when they are close rounds. But I felt no one expected Cheeseman to come out back foot boxing the way he did, and picking his shots and being really selective and quite economical. Because he's shown in fights before this, he's quite happy to walk forward and use his face as a guard and try and get his combinations off. But I don't know if he was worried about Fitzgerald's power. But I felt Fitzgerald was a little bit flat at one point, and he had to really try and turn the screw and get himself in order to win the last, I think, 4 in a row, really, that really tipped him over the edge. I thought he really turned it on late in the fight, and he showed that he's decent. But it's setting up Fitzgerald Fowler the rematch now, so look forward to that one. Yeah, it's on.
Gary, thoughts on the co-main event?
You're a hardcore, Rob, when you go back and watch Cheeseman versus Fowler. That's Fitzgerald versus Cheeseman. That's how you know you're a hardcore. You got to watch that again. Make sure you scored it right. I thought I had it 7-5 for Cheeseman. I had it 7-2 at one point. And I thought Cheeseman gave away the last 3 rounds, like kind of the way that De La Hoya gave away the fight to Trinidad. And
I love how you compared. I know you really didn't compare, like, really, but
There was
Fitzgerald Cheeseman, Trinidad De La Hoya.
But it was he was outboxing him badly. Like, it was bordering on outclassing him.
I get the comparison, but it was just funny.
Matt, when he's De La Hoya, the multi-weight world champion, 3 days, last 3 rounds away.
But it's like a college football team who's throwing the ball up and down the field, having a field day, and they take a 21-point lead. And then the second half, they're like, okay, let's just sit back and nurse the lead. And the next thing you know, they lose. Yeah. I still thought Cheeseman won 7 rounds early, so he should have won the fight on my card. I didn't go back and watch it like hardcore Rob. But, like, when he gave away 3 rounds and he arguably lost the 9th, that means he's lost 4 rounds in a row. If you found early rounds to give for Fitzgerald, which isn't unreasonable, we're going to have a close decision here in a fight that 9 rounds in, wasn't close. It just seems like Cheeseman didn't know how to respond. Like, he wasn't even expecting to outbox him that badly. And then just said, okay, I think I have the fight won now. I'm just going to get on my bicycle and try to run the clock out. It's like, well, why? You're beating him in every aspect. He's going to come to you, just pot shot him, and do what you've been doing, and you're going to win the rounds by even more, because now you saw it. Fitzgerald came out like shot out of a cannon to start round 10 because he knew he needed every single round from there on out. And Cheeseman just seemed content on running out the clock. If they fought again, I think Cheeseman's going to regret that decision for the foreseeable future. Like, he had that fight won.
Yeah, for sure. And he's come out with a post of going in on corruption in boxing, and he's been done dirty and all that kind of stuff, but just emotions.
First of all, he lost to Patera, so that wasn't corruption. Yeah. And second, look, I thought he won, but if he's looking for someone to blame himself for giving away the last 3 rounds.
You got it, Gary. You got it.
I agree. Main event time. Ritson versus Robbie Davies Jr. Back and forth affair. I like the 12th round. That was a really fun round. Again, more of my thoughts on yesterday's show, but you guys, I want to give you guys the room to talk about it. Rob, Ritson, is he back? Is he going to make the run to beat Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis winner?
He's making the run. It might, end when he gets to the final part of that run. But no, look, as much as I took credit for Beterbiev, not that I necessarily made a pick on this, but it was like I said, if Ritson can't get rid of Robbie Davies Jr. like within 6, I can't see him boxing and getting a decision, because Robbie Davies Jr. will be too skilled for him, and Ritson won't have the boxing acumen to kind of still take rounds after probably trying to blow him away in the first few, which he kind of did or tried to. I mean, but yeah, a real fun fight. Really enjoyed it, and just was impressed with Ritson, but not impressed enough to think, yeah, we'll gladly have the winner of the Super Series next, please. Thing is, he's gonna make a shit ton of money. Eddie's talking about doing it at his beloved St James's Park, which is the football ground for Newcastle, which will hold sort of 55,000, I think. And there's every chance that could sell out because it's up north. Scotland will come down for it, all the Taylor fans if it's Taylor. And yeah, all the Geordies will be there. The Newcastle faithful will be there in full support. I mean, that 9,000 made so much noise last night when they played the Ritson Ring Walk, which is a football, the chant from the Newcastle football team. They chant that on the terraces. But yeah, I felt Ritson, he surprised me. He was able to, because, Davis Jr. was the bigger guy, and I think the much more skilled guy going into the fight. But, Ritson really impressed me, and he, to me, looks like he's grown into the weight a little bit better. But for me, to see his power that he seemed to have at domestic level, at lightweight, I don't necessarily think it's carried up. Or as he goes up the levels, it's not seems to be so telling as it was for the British lightweight title.
Well, he knocked out Joe Murray. He knocked out Carl. Like, he knocked out that level fighter at 35, right? I mean, you wouldn't say there's that much difference between the guys he fought at 35 and Robbie Davis, right? I mean, that's kind of the same level, and he was able to.
Ritson's been Robbie Davis. I think he's been European, Commonwealth champion, I believe. He's better than the guys that he just Ritson blew away in the.
He fought some Paul Highland. He fought some. I mean, look, these guys aren't world beaters by any stretch, but they're decent fighters. They're not tomato cans. They're names. They're, and Ritson blew those guys out.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing that impressed me about Robbie Davis is his ability to make 140 pounds. That guy's huge.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's the same height as Mario Barrios. Do you see how Barrios is built? Do you see how Robbie Davis? Like, how do those guys like?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He's 5'11" and he's big. It's like, how does he only weigh 140 pounds 24 hours before a fight? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, but yeah, going forward, you say about making a run at a title. Like I say, he's going to run, he's going to get there. But I think both fighters have said, because it was kind of mentioned before that the win of the Super Series might be in line for one of these guys going forward from whoever wins out of this one. And I think they both freely admitted, Taylor and Prograis, they are on another level compared to them. But they would take their shot. Obviously, it's a lot of money. It's a world title shot. They're not going to shy away from it. So if it presents itself, and they end up, getting a title shot in a big fight, that's what a lot of these guys, they do it for. They train hard and try to go as far as they can until the level becomes too much. So, not going to knock them for taking it when probably they shouldn't, but go for it. That's what they're in the sport for.